Now, as I said, we were going to compare and contrast. You'll notice that different scales have different sounds because they have different sets of internal intervals. That generates different patterns, different letters being used. If you take the C major scale in this position and you compare it directly to the C minor scale, you can see immediately the difference. The C major and the C minor scale have the same root notes. They start on C. They have the same second note because both scales, the formula, the 2, the second note is simply a whole step up from the root note. No difference there. However, when you get to the third note, that's where the differences start. In major, 1, 2, 3 is whole step, whole step. That forms the major third, the happy sound of the major third. As opposed to the sad sound of the minor third in the minor scale, 1, 2, minor 3, where you have 1, then 2 whole step, half step. You'll notice that there's 3 notes that are different from major to minor, from the basic major scale to the basic minor scale. The third, 1, 2, 3, is flatted. The 4 and the 5 are the same, but the 6 is also flatted. Then the 7 is also flatted. So, in major you have a 1, 2, major 3. We call it a major 3 because it could be minor. 4 and 5 are perfect intervals because they're the same in either scale. Then major 6 or minor 6. Then major 7 or minor 7, and then 1 again. This is the general basis behind the comparison that you've heard, perhaps, and if you haven't, then I'm going to give it to you the first time here, that major is generally happy or joyful sounding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. It forms the basis of happy or joyful sounding melodies or solos or songs. Minor is more sad or sorrowful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. So, that is the first instance that we've got to here as far as how to use scales to get a specific result when you hear something in a certain song that has a certain melody or to play a certain scale for a certain reason. We have different scales and they exist for different reasons. We have different sets of the intervals, different patterns, so that you can make your music more expressive. You can convey the concept, the idea, or the emotion of happy with major or sad with minor. And that is a little bit on comparison contrast with the major and the minor scale. Practice both of them, and we will see you in future lessons.